All right, let's dive into a story that, it seems, was deliberately buried. It's about a scientist, a testimony before Congress that just vanished, and a view of reality that challenges, well, absolutely everything.
So picture this. The year is 1999. A Japanese scientist, Dr. Michio Kushi, is standing right there in front of the United States Congress. He's sharing a truth that was just common knowledge back in his home country. He's talking to some of the most powerful people on the planet. And then just silence. The press completely ignores it. The official records, they just seem to evaporate.
So that's the big question, right? What on earth could a man say that was so threatening it had to be completely wiped from the record? Well, we managed to find a rare recording of that testimony, and what it lays out is a worldview that just turns our modern understanding of reality completely on its head.
Okay, let's start with his most fundamental claim. And honestly, this one is a total reality shatterer. It questions the very ground you're standing on right now. This is how Kushi kicked things off. He basically said that the solid world we all see and feel, the chair you're sitting in, the phone in your hand, even your own body, is an illusion. He proposed that we've all been taught a fundamental lie about what existence even is.
So you've got these two totally opposite ways of looking at everything. On one side, there's the standard story we all learn in school. The world is solid, your body is basically a machine made of little bits and pieces. But on the other side, you have Kushi's hidden truth. The world is just vibration, and you're not a machine. You're a field of pure energy. And the wild thing is, Kushi pointed out that even our own science kind of backs this up. At the subatomic level, quantum physics tells us that matter isn't really solid at its core. It's just a mass of waves, flickering in and out of existence. But that's usually treated like some weird, abstract idea. Kushi, though, he applied that truth directly to our daily lives, to our health, and that's where his ideas started to get really dangerous.
Okay, so if we're not solid machines, if we're basically fields of vibrating energy, what does that mean when we get sick? Kushi's answer completely redefines what illness even is.
Now, this is a radical idea. Forget about hundreds of different complex diseases. Kushi said that everything, from cancer to the common cold to depression, all comes from the exact same root cause: stagnant, blocked energy. Think about it. Life is all about flow, right? Your blood, your breath, your thoughts. Sickness, he said, is just what happens when that flow gets blocked up.
Now, this idea wasn't something he just invented. Kushi was tapping into an ancient Eastern understanding of a life force. They call it ki in Japan, chi in China, prana in India. This concept is so baked into the culture that the Japanese word for sickness, byoki, literally translates to chaotic ki, disordered energy.
And this really shows you the massive difference in thinking. Western medicine often sees the body like a car with a broken part. It attacks the symptom with a pill or a procedure. But the Eastern approach that Kushi talked about, it doesn't really focus on the symptom at all. The whole goal is to restore the body's natural flow of energy, to get rid of the blockage that's causing the problem in the first place. And here it is. This is the really dangerous idea. If Kushi's right, if health is really about restoring your own natural flow, then it isn't always something you have to buy. It's something you can reclaim yourself. And you can imagine if people really truly believe that, an entire industry built on selling treatment after treatment, well, it might just start to crumble. But Kushi's ideas didn't stop at disease, not even close. He argued that the same energy dynamic is running everything, and he pointed to 3 hidden forces that are constantly programming our lives, whether we know it or not.
First up, food. We're all taught to think about food in terms of calories, protein, carbs. Kushi said that completely misses the whole point. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. Every single bite you take is like a piece of code that literally programs your energy field. And he put it about as bluntly as you possibly can. He said, when you eat chicken, then become chicken. What he meant was you absorb the energy of what you consume. If you eat a restless, nervous animal, you take on that same restless energy. It goes way beyond just nutrition. He was saying you inherit the very vibration of your food. All right, the second hidden force, words. Kushi's take was that every sound you make and every word you hear isn't just a sound. It's a vibration that physically carves into your reality. I mean, think about how some people's voices can instantly calm you down, and others just make you tense up. Kushi said that's not just psychology, it's physics.
The power he gave to speech is just immense. We even see this in modern science, don't we? It's the placebo and nocebo effect.
A doctor's hopeful words can make a sugar pill perform miracles, and their words of fear can make that same pill cause harm. The pill itself does nothing. It's the vibration of the words that's reshaping the body.
So that makes you wonder, doesn't it? If words really do shape reality, then who's controlling the words that are shaping you? The news, the politicians, the endless scroll on your phone. Are those words an accident, or are they programming a very specific reality for you to live in?
And this last force, this one might be the deepest of them all. Cushy claimed we are not just ourselves. We are carrying the thoughts, the traumas, the unfinished business of our ancestors right inside of us. It's wild because modern science is just now catching up with this idea through epigenetics, discovering how a grandparent's stress can literally change the genes of their grandchildren. Cushy had a much simpler, more chilling word for it: haunting.
Cushy also laid out this idea he called the ladder of being, a kind of hidden map of consciousness. He suggested a lot of people are living down on the bottom rungs, operating on pure instinct or just obeying without question, all while thinking they're totally free. The highest state, the free man, isn't about being perfect. It's about being able to embrace all of reality, the good and the bad. So why would anyone want to hide an idea like this? Well, maybe because a system of control depends on people not even knowing there's a ladder to climb.
Okay, so let's put all the pieces together. We've looked at Cushy's ideas on reality, health, food, words, and consciousness. Now we finally get to the big one. Why? Why would this knowledge be so dangerous that it had to be buried?
When you boil it all down, this is the core message. Reality itself is just vibration. Sickness is just blocked energy. Real health is about flow, not something you find in a bottle. And every day, the food you eat and the words you hear are turning your life into a battlefield for influence. The single biggest takeaway from all this is that true power isn't something out there you have to go get. It's already inside you, just waiting to be unlocked.
And there it is. That's the reason for the silence. Cushy's entire message was a declaration of your own personal power. And systems of control, whether we're talking about medicine or industry or government, they can only survive as long as you believe you're powerless, as long as you believe you're a broken machine that needs them to fix you.
That right there is the ultimate threat to any system that wants to be in charge. The simple, revolutionary idea that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but that you are actively creating your own reality from the inside out. If enough people really understood that and started living that way, the entire machine built on our powerlessness would just crack.
In the end, Cushy's buried testimony leaves us with one final, powerful question. He said all this back in 1999 and they silenced him. But now, the secret is out. It's in your hands. So the question is no longer what he said, it's what you're going to do about it.